Hicoberry, you could never be a star. You are who you are. The Hicoberry.
We back. This is the Rebuker. I'm your host on Hicoberry Mondays. Hit the like, share, subscribe, and if you want to leave a little something, the Cash App is always in the description. Is it just me, or did this year just shoot by? And Happy New Year's, by the way, because I know I ain't going to reach y'all until next week. But this year just really went by super fast. Is it just me, or am I tripping? But anyway, I hope y'all have a safe New Year's. If you guys going to be out partying, be responsible, be vigilant, and make sure that you get home safe, or wherever you at, you don't overdo it. Okay, let's get into the show. I'm going to talk about Brock Purdy, Cooper Rush, Bo Nix, Mac Jones, and the rest of them. These quarterbacks that they have, all these quarterbacks that's mostly 28 and under, probably besides Case Keenum, they have done nothing in the NFL. And when you look at somebody like Bo Nix, he just can't get it done. They might not even get into the playoffs, but this is under Sean Payton's tutelage. But tell me something. It's only 4 quarterbacks that I seen that's 28 and under, that's Hicoberries, that's doing something. And we all know that it's Golf Burrow, that Baker Mayflower, and that Hicoberry, that Wyoming Hicoberry, Josh Allen. And he has won nothing. Anyway, Sean Payton and this Bo Nix, you talking about overrated and overhyped, right? Sean Payton, I thought he's supposed to be this quarterback developer, right? He ain't like Wes Phillips. Look at Sam Darnold up there in Minnesota. Bum Phillips' grandson, Wade Phillips' son. Look what he's done. Of course, they got Randy Moss 1.5 and that other brother up there that helps him out big time. We ain't going to talk about all that. But look what Wes Phillips has done with Sam Darnold. Look what Arthur Smith did with Ryan Tannehill and made Ryan Tannehill an all-pro and almost went to the Super Bowl, right? And then you look at Bobby Slow. Bobby Slow down there in Houston, I like Bobby Slow. Because Bobby Slow, remember with RG3, he told Kirk Cousins, hey, you're going to have to sit the pine. I'm going with RG3. And RG3 ended up getting Offensive Player of the Year. Then down here, he got that Hicoberry Case Keenum down there, but he said, we going with C.J. Stroud. See, Bobby Slow is impartial. I like Bobby Slow, right? Because he's impartial. But when you look at these quarterbacks, let's just go down the list. Brock Purdy, Cooper Rush, Bo Nix, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Aiden O'Donnell, Drake May, Drew Lock, Mason Rudolph, and Case Keenum. You look at all these guys compared to the Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels, Tyler Huntley, Lamar Jackson, Pat Magic, and you can even throw Michael Penix in there. You mean to tell me that they better than these brothers, right? And then that GM down there in Atlanta, hey, I ain't going to say you need to be fired, right? I ain't going to say that brother needs to be fired, but he might need some counseling. You mean to tell me you going to pay Kirk Cousins $180 million with $50 million guaranteed with a bad Achilles? You knew that Kurt had a season-ending injury last year, and you give him $50 million guaranteed and $180 million contract with a bad Achilles? I ain't gonna say you need to get fired, right? Because you did get Michael Penix, but you might just need a little counseling, King. Come on, King. You know better than that, King. to be paying some old quarterback, right? And I like Kurt. Kurt ain't a Hicoberry. But you mean to tell me you going to pay this white boy all this money and he's an older quarterback, a 36-year-old quarterback with a bad Achilles? You might need counseling. We going to take a short promo break. This is the Rebuker on Hicoberry Mondays.
Hicoberry, you can never be a star. You are who you are. The Hicoberry.
I'm back. This is the Rebuker on Hicoberry Mondays. Hit the like, share, and subscribe, and the notification bell. Hey, what y'all know about that Alexander O'Neal? I remember when he had that album cover. Remember when he was standing in front of that Studebaker Golden Hawk? When he had on the gray pinstripe suit? You know, just looking GQ as they called it back in the day. Hey, I'm not saying Alexander was a pimp, but he definitely had a few bones in his body with some ism, no. I will say that. Okay, let's get into the second half of Hicoberry Mondays. We're going to talk about this Cam Ward situation. They're making the biggest deal out of it because he didn't play in the second half and they didn't win the game. If you're going to be a top 4 pick in the draft, why would you care to really play a full game in the Pop-Tart Bowl and take a risk on getting injured? It just don't make sense. I mean, he was killing it anyway. He had almost 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. He broke that Hicoberry's record, Case Keenum's touchdown record. I mean, what do you expect? I don't think he was wrong for that. When you looking at the type of money that he gonna be getting, and it's the Pop-Tart Bowl, y'all. Come on now. The Pop-Tart Bowl, I know that he sat down and talked with his coach and his teammates about that and said, hey, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to do my thing, I'm going to break this record, and I ain't going to play. I'm going to do it all in the first half, like he did. He's a top 4 pick. I mean, you think that Jackson Dart and Kyle McCord, you think that they're going to be a first-round pick? No way. They're going to probably go in the 3rd round because they Hicoberries, but they really need to go in the 4th or 5th round. They're not touching this guy. Him and Shedeur Sanders, they're not touching him. Even that brother down there in Alabama, what's his name? The Jalen Milroe that run like a 4.6 40, that athletic quarterback, they're not even touching him. We know Kyle McCord ain't going to be no Donovan McNabb, right? Hasn't these GMs in the NFL had a caveat with the Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilsons, Mac Jones, and all the rest of them? I mean, haven't they learned from the Mason Rudolphs and all these guys, right? They should have learned that these guys just don't pan out the way that they supposed to. In my opinion, in my honest opinion, none of these Hicoberries should go in the first round ever again until they have really been evaluated, and even then they should go in the second round because Brothers has taken over this position. Okay, let's segue into this Saquon Barkley situation. I remember when I got asked maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, they were saying, who is better, Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey? And I said Saquon Barkley, and they was like, nah, Christian McCaffrey. You know, he could catch out of the backfield, and he's this runner. Has there ever been a white guy that rushed for 2,000 yards? I'll wait. I knew that Christian McCaffrey ain't no John Riggins or no Mike Allstott type of running back. I'll wait. What white guy has rushed for 2,000 yards? I'll wait. And Saquon Barkley has already done it in 16 games. Now, here's the thing that trips me out is that Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson, which I have a lot of respect for. I'm an old school guy. Been following him since SMU with him and Craig James had 1,000 yards. And then when he went to the Rams and he did it in 1984 and broke O.J. Simpson's record. Now, here's the thing that I have a problem with ED, right? Nothing but respect for ED. But ED, you did it in 2 more games than O.J. Simpson when you broke his record. Why wouldn't you want Saquan Barkley to break your record? And he's doing it with less carries. Let's just look at it, right? ED had 390 carries when he broke the record in 16 games. Saquon Barkley only has 345 carries. Even if he get another game, right, it's not going to be 390 carries. We know that. He ain't going to get no 40-something carries in a game, right, and risk getting injured when they go into the playoffs. And here's the question that I got to ask. If you was the coach, how many touches will you give Saquon to break the record? If I was the coach, I would be like, hey, I'm going to go out here. We're going to give you 14 to 17 touches. If you ain't close within that 14, it might only be 14 touches. If you close, we're going to give you 3 more carries to break this record. If not, I'm pulling you because I need you for the playoffs. And I want Saquon Barkley to break this record. I want him to break this record is because we need to have new black faces set these records and continuing it ongoing, just like Eric Dickerson did with O.J. Simpson. I don't believe O.J. Simpson hated on ED. And ED, man, don't do this, ED. ED, don't do this, man. This is a young, good brother, man. Why wouldn't you want him to break your record, ED? This make us old heads look bad, man, when we do stuff like this, ED. You better than that, man. I know you better than that, ED. Wish this young brother on, man. It makes us old heads look bad, man. It makes us old heads look bad when we do this. Wish this young brother on, man. Come on, ED. You better than that, man. We got to do better than this, man. I'm going to go ahead, y'all, and I'm going to end it right here. This is Hicoberry Mondays, and I'm out.
Hicoberry, you can never be a star. You are who you are. The Hicoberry.